Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I am MK Jabintaj. Today in this video I am giving you the knowledge about the second module of the subject operating system for 4th sem CSE CBCS VTU students. I am dedicating this video to all the students all over the world. Okay. Now let us see multi-threaded programming. A thread is a basic unit of a CPU utilization. It consists of thread ID, PC, register set and stock. It shares with other threads belonging to the same process its code section and data section. A traditional or heavyweight process has a single thread of control. If a process has multiple threads of control, it can perform more than one task at a time. Such a process is called multi-threaded process. See the figure. Motivation for multi-threaded programming. The software packages that run on the modern PCs are multi-threaded. An application is implemented as a separate process with several threads of control. For example, a word processor may have first thread for displaying graphics, second thread for responding to keystroke, and third thread for performing grammar checking. In some situations, a single application may be required to perform several similar tasks. For example, a web server may create a separate thread for each client requests. This allows the server to service several concurrent requests. RPC servers are multi-threaded. When a server receives a message, it services the message using separate concurrent threads. Most OS kernels are multi-threaded. Several threads operate in kernel and each thread performs a specific task such as managing devices or interrupt handling. Benefits of multi-threaded programming. Responsiveness. A program may be allowed to continue running even if part of it is blocked, thus increasing responsiveness to the user. Resource sharing. By default, threads share the memory and resources of the process to which they belong. Thus, an application is allowed to have several different threads of activity within the same address space. Economy. Allocating memory and resources for process creation is costly. Thus, it is more economical to create and context switch threads. Utilization of multiprocessor architectures. In a multiprocessor architecture, threads may be running in parallel on different processors. Thus, parallelism will be increased. Multi-threading models. Support for threads may be provided at either the user level for user threads or by the kernel for kernel threads. User threads are supported above the kernel and are managed without kernel's support. Kernel threads are supported and managed directly by the OS. The three ways of establishing relationship between user threads and kernel threads are many-to-one model, one-to-one model, and many-to-many model. Many-to-one model. Many user level threads are mapped to one kernel thread. Advantages. Thread management is done by the thread library in user space, so it is efficient. Disadvantages. The entire process will block if a thread makes a blocking system call. Multiple threads are unable to run in parallel on multiprocessors. For example, Solaris Green threads, GNU portable threads. One-to-one model. Each user thread is mapped to a kernel thread. Advantages. It provides more concurrency by allowing another thread to run when a thread makes a blocking system call. Multiple threads can run in parallel on multiprocessors. Disadvantage. Creating a user thread requires creating the corresponding kernel thread. For example, Windows NT or XP or 2000, Linux. See the figure. Now let us see many-to-many model. Many user level threads are multiplexed to a smaller number of kernel threads. Advantages. Developers can create as many user threads as necessary. The kernel threads can run in parallel on a multiprocessor. When a thread performs a blocking system call, kernel can schedule another thread for execution. Two-level model. A variation on the many-to-many model is the two-level model, similar to m is to n, except that it allows a user thread to be bound to kernel thread. For example, HPUX True 64 Unix. Now let us see thread libraries. It provides the programmer with an API for the creation and management of threads. Two ways of implementation. First approach provides a library entirely in user space with no kernel support. All code and the data structures for the library exist in the user space. Second approach provides a library entirely in user space with no kernel support. All code and data structures for the library exist in the user space. Three main thread libraries: POSIX, pthreads, Win32 and Java pthreads. This is a POSIX standard API for thread creation and synchronization. This is a specification for thread behavior, not an implementation. OS designers may implement the specification in any way they wish, commonly used in Unix and Solaris. See the code. See the continuation of the code. Now let us see Win32 threads. Implements the one-to-one mapping. Each thread contains a thread ID, register set, separate user and kernel stacks, private data storage areas. The register set, stack and private storage area are known as the context of the threads. The primary data structures of a thread includes ethread, executive thread block, kthread, kernel thread block, tab thread environment block. Java threads. Threads are the basic model of program execution in Java program and Java language. The API provides a rich set of features for the creation and management of threads. All Java programs comprise at least a single thread of control. Two techniques for creating threads: create a new class that is derived from the thread class and override its run method. Define a class that implements the runnable interface. The runnable interface is defined as follows. See the code. Threading issues. Fork and XK system calls. Fork is used to create a separate duplicate process. If one thread in a program calls fork, then some systems duplicates all threads and other systems duplicate only the thread that invokes the fork. If a thread invokes the exec, the program specified in the parameter to exec will replace the entire process including all threads. Thread cancellation. This is the task of terminating a thread before it has completed. Target thread is the thread that is to be cancelled. Thread cancellation occurs in two different cases. Asynchronous cancellation. One thread immediately terminates the target thread. Deferred cancellation. The target thread periodically checks whether it should be terminated. Signal handling. In Unix, a signal is used to notify a process that a particular event has occurred. All signals follow this pattern. A signal is generated by the occurrence of a certain event. A generalized signal is delivered to a process. Once delivered, the signal must be handled. A signal handler is used to process signals. A signal may be received either synchronously or asynchronously depending on the source. Asynchronous signals delivered to the same process that performs the operation causing the signal. Example: illegal memory access and division by 0. Asynchronous signals generated by an event external to a running process. Example: user terminating a process with specific keystrokes. Control C. Every signal can be handled by one of the two possible handlers. A default signal handler run by the kernel when handling the signal. A user-defined signal handler overrides the default signal handler. In a single thread, Threaded program delivering signals is simple since signals are always delivered to a process. In multi-threaded programs, delivering signals is more complex than the following option exists. Deliver the signal to the thread to which the signal applies. Deliver the signal to every thread in process. Deliver the signal to certain threads in the process. Assign a specific thread to receive all signals for the process. Threaded pools. The basic idea is to create a number of threads at process startup and place the threads into a pool where they sit and wait for work. Procedure. When a server receives a request, it awakens a thread from the pool. If any thread is available, the request is passed to it for service. Once the service is completed, the thread returns to the pool. Advantages. Servicing a request with an existing thread is usually faster than waiting to create a thread. The pool limits the number of threads that exist at any one point. Number of threads in the pool can be based on factors such as number of CPUs, amount of memory, and expected number of concurrent client requests. Thread specific data. Threads belonging to a process share the data of the process. This sharing of data provides one of the benefits of multi-threaded programming. In some circumstances, each thread might need its own copy of certain data. We will call such data threaded specific data. For example, in a transaction processing system, we might service each transaction in a separate thread. Furthermore, each transaction may be assigned a unique identifier to associate each thread with its unique identifier. We could use thread specific data. Scheduler activity activations. Both M/M and two-level models require communication to maintain the appropriate number of kernel threads allocated to the application. Scheduler activations provide upcalls, a communication mechanism from the kernel to the thread library. This communication allows an application to maintain the correct number kernel threads. One scheme for communication between the user thread library and the kernel is known as scheduler activation.